All right, so Donald Trump spoke at CPAC. These are always hilarious speeches. Homeboy went on for nearly 2 hours. You think he got his Adderall prescription filled? I think so. So he's going to talk a little bit here about Joe Manchin. I found this portion very interesting. Let's see what he says.
It's interesting with Manchin. So I got along with him very well. He wanted to know Jerry West could get the Presidential Medal of Freedom. I said, Jerry West, great athlete. Could Bob Cousy get one?
Jerry West, great athlete. This guy.
Yeah, Bob Cousy, great, right? Everybody agrees he's great. But I got along with him fantastically well. Couldn't have been better. He called me all the time. We had a good relationship.
Interesting to note. Now, Trump's a noted liar. It might not be true, but he says, Manchin called me all the time. Really?
And he said when the impeachment hoax started, I would never vote against you. You're a great president. I will never vote against you. And when we were counting up the numbers, which we won very easily, by the way, but when we were counting up the numbers, I say, one Democrat I know for sure will never vote against me on impeachment is Joe Manchin. So they're taking the votes, and he voted against me. I said, he must have made a mistake. Perhaps he didn't know what they were doing. But I said to Mitch McConnell that he will do this, and he will hurt our nation, and he will hurt the Republican Party, and he will hurt independents, and he's going to hurt the Democrats. He's going to hurt everybody. But Mitch McConnell has hurt our party very badly. Should have never happened.
He's got so many personal gripes. And this is one of the reasons why the Republican establishment has totally abandoned him. It's because he's a loose cannon. He's a loose cannon, and he shoots in every which direction if people don't immediately fall in line.
And I said it, and I said...
By the way, a lot of the donors are abandoning him now. We covered that about a month ago.
I said it publicly when they approved that horrible infrastructure deal, and then they go and they do this. And they're not finished yet. You know, they still have a little time left.
Okay, he's hitting the infrastructure deal. Now, understand, you guys, I'm sure most of you guys remember, although some of you may not, the process that was going on back then. They were going to pair the infrastructure bill with Build Back Better. And so there was leverage there because a lot of people wanted the infrastructure bill. The corporations actually wanted that infrastructure bill too. And so the leverage was the left is only going to vote for the infrastructure bill if you also vote for Build Back Better. And so, of course, they buckled and they caved, and it was terrible. And we just got the standard infrastructure bill, which is a very weak bill. There are a lot of corporate giveaways in that bill. And Trump is attacking it as if, this bill right here. He's mad because he thinks it's too much. Not that, oh my God, it's not enough, and Build Back Better would have been the better portion of it. No. His position is like, it's crazy that we did any sort of infrastructure thing. Now, compare that with when he was in office. He would talk about how he wanted to do infrastructure. See, this is what I mean. Like, there is no core to Donald Trump. It's all like petty narcissism and personal grievance and what's good for me. You can't, in terms of actual positions, they're few and far between.
But McConnell is the most unpopular politician in the country, even more so than crazy Nancy Pelosi. And
that might be true, although I haven't seen a poll recently.
And something has to be done. He raises large campaign contributions for senators, and that's how he holds onto his power.
That's true.
And even I tell some of the senators who I'm very friendly with, which is most of them, you saw the vote, they call, they say, what do we do? You know, all of a sudden they're offered 20, and it's hard for them to raise money. But McConnell will offer them $20 million because he raises all this money, and he offers them to many of the senators, not all of them. And they'll call me, what do I do? What do I do? I said, take the money. Take it. It's all right. Don't worry.
Whoa. So this is Trump casually coming out of, yeah, the corruption's good. Take the money. Because who does McConnell raise it from? It's all Wall Street and the military-industrial complex and big pharma. It's every ghoul under the sun who destroys our country. Yeah, take the money. Yeah, do the corruption. Donald Trump signing off on corruption.
Worry about it. He'll end up where he ends up. Take the money. They need it. But it's not a good thing. And under the Trump administration, we had the greatest economy in the history of the world. We had no inflation.
Oh, please. All right, now he's pivoting off to suck himself off, which he does every other second. That portion on Manchin was interesting. I think he goes on to say that I'm going to go there. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to go campaign against him. I'm going to go to campaign against Joe Manchin. So he turned on him. Okay, the inability of these people to keep things in context is amazing to me, because Joe Manchin, if you are on the right, you should still love Joe Manchin. Or actually, let me take that back. If you are a elected Republican, you should love Joe Manchin. Why? Because it's because of Joe Manchin that there is no universal pre-K. It's because of Joe Manchin that there is no elder care. It's because of Joe Manchin that there is no extended child tax credit. It's because of Joe Manchin that there is no free college. So if you are an elected Republican, you got to be like, oh, thank God this guy stopped us from going further left, which would have solidified Democratic victories in the near future. And also, they're just against good things for the country, so they should like that, right? So, but they can't help themselves because Manchin got some, mediocre deal with Schumer. Now all of a sudden, he's an extremist. I'm sure they'll call him a socialist and a communist very shortly. So these guys, they have no ability to objectively analyze anything, and that's clear. Ever since Adpocalypse, when YouTube defunded all independent news and politics overnight, we haven't trusted them. We know they can pull the rug out from underneath us at any time. If you enjoy this content, please consider tipping $1 or $2 per month on the Secular Talk Patreon. Link in the video description box below. Thanks for your support.